So this is a video you really never want to make. Went on a used PC parts hunt and, well, got a good deal. So I thought, this computer complete. Very excited to get it. Loaded up in the truck, which I've already checked the truck. We're good. And I popped it down. And when I looked at it, I saw a roach. Crap. Yeah. And then when I opened it up, I saw 2 or 3 of them moving. Great. I wasn't going to work on this computer until a little later, but considering that there are live roaches in here, I have to get to it. I mean, I got to deal with the infestation. They already crawled behind the motherboard. I'm not looking forward to that. This is a Dell Inspiron 5675. Don't know much about it. I haven't even looked up the specs, but it was a real good deal until I saw that. So yeah, I better get started, deal with the inevitable. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Roach infestations are horrible. They're the worst because, number one, it's disgusting. Number two, their fecal matter is conductive and all that stuff, so they could cause some damage. So yeah, I figured turn on the camera. Let's all suffer together. This might not be as bad as I think. I doubt it. I got gloves, folks. You guys be proud of me because you're always saying I don't use gloves. Well, yeah. But I see their poop all over the place. And you also be proud of me because we're not in the garage. We're, outside. I mean, just, yeah. And I'm also doing it on my trash cans, which that sucks in itself because, well, it kind of smells over here. I'll be honest with you, more than likely, I'm gonna scrap the case. Try to see if we can save the video card and the motherboard, but we'll see. As far as this video card, I don't know. Man, I really don't want to do this, but yeah. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments. That's why you don't buy used and junk and e-waste. But I mean, I've made good money buying used stuff at times. And then you have moments like this where it's like, you should have just stayed home. Just should have stayed home. Let's just delay the inevitable and just take everything else out. If I could get the motherboard out, then I could at least test the motherboard and the graphics card. Because what I'm looking at, it doesn't look like I need any special adapters for the motherboard. Maybe just find out the pin out just to, get the power button going. Hey, quiet. I'm trying to record a video. These birds, they're just rude. Oh, I'm afraid to pull this motherboard. Got more cables up here. I'm just afraid to touch anything, folks. I'm being honest with you. I broke these Wi-Fi antennas, but I could care less at this point. It's out. So we got one left. And now that I think about it, I can smell the roach junk. Oh, there you are. Look. Oh, crap. Can you see it? There he is. Yeah, he's hiding right in there. You son of a gun. Apologize for the language, folks. Now it's driving me nuts because I don't know where he went. And this is disgusting. Folks, I just want to read all the comments and let you know. Folks, I'm ready for the comments. I'm ready for the comments. He's in the heatsink. Okay. We've saved the CPU. Okay. And I'm just going to point out that is a ton of thermal paste. Alright, so let's take a look at this motherboard. That cooler may or probably throw it out. Yeah. We might be able to save this motherboard. We got 16 gigs of memory. I don't see... Gosh. This might end up in the dishwasher if I'm being honest with you. Some people are probably saying it should end up in the trash. And you're not wrong there. You're definitely not wrong. But you do what you gotta do. I mean, he just don't want to come out. Alright. Now taking a look at this, we could be good. Alright, so now the video card. Already 2 have come out of there. I know, I should just throw it out. I should. I don't even want to do this, but you know, let's go for it. Typically you don't want that to do that, but you know, nothing matters anymore in this video. So in this video you're probably going to see me do everything completely wrong. I think the only thing we're going to end up salvaging is maybe this motherboard, CPU, and graphics card. Probably the memory and the CPU are probably going to be the best things to salvage. I still don't know what that CPU is, but I mean, if this graphics card works and we could save it, that is a score. But I'm sure you probably are all saying already at the screen, this alone was not worth it. And I'm gonna agree with you, but it's the gamble you take. It is the gamble you take. This was supposed to be a separate, different video, but you know, it took its own infestation direction. Oh, here comes the fun part. Looks like you gotta take some more stuff up here. Dried up thermal paste. Yeah, they've been all up in here pooping and doing what they do. I'll have to think about that. Now going back to this, I mean, the only other thing potentially to save is this drive, which we'll just take it out just to see. And I think I got an idea what I'm going to do with this computer once I've taken it apart. One terabyte Barracuda. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, that's great. I know, disgusting. Trust me, I'm disgusted too. I think this channel has reached a new low, folks. Folks, this is pretty bad. As you can see, yeah, this thing completely infested really bad. And at this point, I'm just spraying it down with brake part cleaner just to save my house. This is really bad. Yeah, you could throw this out, but you're still stuck with the issue of, you know, they're in your trash. They're everywhere. I'm just using brake part cleaner because that's what I have. And that's mostly at this point. As you can see, that guy right there, he just crawled out, he died. I mean, at this point, to make sure I have no further issues. Look, look, oh my gosh, everywhere. See one crawling right in there. Die. The brake part cleaner seems to be killing them pretty good, so we're done with this. I think at this point, we're just gonna get a trash bag, seal it up in there, and that's it. There's nothing else worth saving. And some of you might even say this was not worth saving, which you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I went ahead and just wrapped it up in the garbage bag. That is going, I don't know. I'll have to put it in the back of the truck, wrap it up again, but man, definitely no bueno. And the front panel, in case anybody's wondering, I threw it all the way over there because roaches started coming out of it. That totally sucks. But like I said, it was eventually going to happen. It is what it is. You live, you learn. It's the gamble when you're dealing with used. And the interesting is that I didn't smell it. Usually you could smell that that roach, I think it's ammonia or whatever smell that they give off. I didn't smell it. So I don't know. Either that's the beginning signs of COVID or I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But anyways, I digress. So let's take a look at what I probably shouldn't salvage. We got a motherboard. The good thing is that, you know, there's definitely not going to be any friends in here. But we still got to clean that up. The cooler does not have any roach infestation, which is surprising. And what's left of the graphics card, I've just been having it sit out here and just bake in the sun. The drive, because those are typically sealed. This, on the other hand, I might have to take it apart because honestly, if that graphics card does work, I need a cooler for it. And yeah, you have to dive into these. So let's open this up some more and see what we can salvage, hopefully. I'm regretting life decisions. All right, so I lucked out. And I apologize if I'm losing footage, but I'm fighting with my camera. I'm using my phone and it keeps overheating, so that's definitely not good. But it doesn't look as bad. Looking at it, I don't see no roaches. We got evidence of their, you know, their poop. That's not good. So we could definitely clean that up. So it's actually a couple hours later and that whole computer is in the dump. Yeah, normally I put stuff into trash, but I wasn't going to risk it. Man, that thing was pretty bad. I've sprayed my garage. I've sprayed the whole perimeter of my house. It went nowhere near, you know, my house or anything like that. I caught it even before they got a chance to escape in my garage. So I'm not worried about that. But just because I'm paranoid and you don't want to play with that, I've sprayed everything down. But now we got the graphics card, the motherboard, the cooler, the blower. The actual heat sink and shroud for it is somewhere else, so we got to get to cleaning this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and clean everything up, do a quick montage of that, and then we'll try to fire it up, see what works, see what doesn't work. But I guess the question we could find out now is what CPU was in there. I could look up the specs, but that would make sense, and I don't do good at making sense. Ryzen 5 4500, so they've been tinkering around with this. I mean, that's still a good CPU, but it's not the Ryzen 7 that is set on the case, so that's no bueno. And those people were just really in love with thermal paste. I got a bottle of isopropyl alcohol. It's the 98% flavor. We're going to douse everything down, scrub it with a toothbrush, wipe it, clean it, and we'll see if it works. So let's switch to the montage. All right, everything cleaned up as good as expected. A lot cleaner. I didn't see any corrosion, short, or damage on the motherboard or the graphics card, which is a good thing. So, a little happy about that. But still, not an experience I would recommend to anybody. So, the thermal pads, which I have them over here, are disgusting, covered in roach, poop, doo-doo, whatever. Yeah. I just gotta mic them, or maybe I could look them up and change them, but I'm not gonna put them on. I'm just gonna run this thing with the cooler without the thermal pads, just enough to see if I get a post. Do I get artifacting? Is this thing even good? So let's test this graphics card first. Let's put it back together and let's find out if we're off to a good start. And while we're there, we can also test the memory. It is a 16 gig stick, and then we'll move on to the motherboard. All right, put back together just enough. And I still don't know what this card is. And I threw out the computer without writing down the model number, so I have to go back in the footage. This doesn't work to figure out what it is. So, yeah, that was smart. Here goes nothing. Fan is spinning. Oh, sweet. Oh, no keyboard detected. Let's fix that. So far, no artifacting. Then again, we haven't put a load on it. Let's see. I don't want to run it too long because we don't have those thermal pads. I do have thermal paste on it though. Alright, Tech Power Up GPU Z. Let's tell me what I got. Alright, so according to this, we have an RX 580 and we have the 8 gig flavor. Alright, not too bad. It's what, about a $40, $50 graphics card? Pretty cool. And I think the drivers are installed because Frankenstein, my graphics card that I just kind of piecemealed together, was on it. Yeah. So let's just do a very quick load on it. It works. It runs good enough. I'm not going to run it too crazy. Like I said, I don't have thermal pads on it, but all right. So we were able to save the graphics card. Pretty cool. Still not worth it, but pretty cool. Let's move on to the motherboard. Our lovely test bench. Here's our motherboard, cleaned up nicely. So, I don't know. We'll see. If the graphics card was good enough to work and be saved, this might be as well. Just gonna pop in a new CMOS battery. Cool. Now, this has been sitting outside and drying for probably about 30 minutes. I've sprayed isopropyl alcohol and other stuff on it, so it's dry. It's about 93 degrees outside Fahrenheit, so it's fine. Now, same thing with our CPU. It's a Ryzen 5 4500. I don't know a lot about this motherboard, but considering that thing said Ryzen 7, all the thermal paste on it, they might have been swapping CPUs. I don't know. Let's at least see if we get power, if we get a post. We're just going to pop this in just like so. Legend of Zelda triangles. Got to match them up, of course. I am missing one of the screws for that, so bummer, but at this point, all I want to do is just make sure this thing posts. 2, 3 is good enough. This is the memory it came with. I'm fairly confident that it's good. Maybe they should have went the other way. Let's flip that around. Now, I should have tested this though on my test bench, and I know I said I was, but I forgot. It is what it is. Now, because we know the graphics card works, I'm going to use that to test this thing. The CPU power is traditional. And the same thing for the 24-pin, traditional. Alright, so the one thing that is different, and I'll show you, is the power switch button. It has that special adapter, which I have this one that I've used for the Optiplexes, and it looks the same. Should be the same, and from what I remember, the little arrow right over here is for the blank spot. So I want to see if it turns on by itself. If it turns on by itself, then I'm not going to mess with that. If it doesn't, it is what it is. Well, if it doesn't, then I'll try that switch. At this point, got nothing to lose. All right, let's plug it in. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Let's try this adapter. I know it's worked for a lot of different ones. Checking on the interweb, it's pretty much all the same pinout, so we should be good. Alright, power switch should be this top one. Make sure the blank lines up, and I'll show you in just a sec, but let's get this thing on. See if it powers up. We got power. Do we get video? All right, let's turn it off. Turn it back on. Now, my only concern is that the graphics card is not spinning, but that could be normal for this graphics card. All right, let's try a couple of things off camera, and when we come back, either it's going to work or it's not. All right, so spend some time off camera, and we have conclusions, not the ones I was hoping for. So we know the graphics card works. Test that on the test bench. Off camera, I tested the memory, tested the mechanical drive. We know that works. And if some of you were watching this and are very familiar with this computer, you're probably cringing like, oh, you don't know. This does not support a Ryzen 5 4500. No, they probably swapped CPUs with something else, and you'll see that in another video with the other parts I got with this deal. It's a Ryzen 7 1700X, which is supposed to come in here. I popped it in. Well, this one's the 1700, not the X variant. But it's the Ryzen 7 1700. I popped it in, and it was still doing the same thing. No video. Unfortunate. I tried different memories, tried different PCI slots, of course, brand new battery, a whole bunch of different things. Even popped in this memory, and one thing I found was that when I popped this in, no RGB was coming on. So it could be the fact that the memory channel is dead. I don't know. The CPU does get warm. I took it off, put my finger on it, and it started warming up. My money is on the motherboard. I really think the motherboard died on this. But then again, these Ryzens, that generation, they did have some issues with it. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get an old motherboard that supports it just to tinker with it. We shall see. But although that computer was a big bust, did get some parts off of it. Not worth it at all, in my opinion. But you live, you learn. Did they know about the roach infestation? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I'm not going to judge. It's, it's unfortunate. People go through hard times. They need money. Maybe they pulled the fast one on me. It's not the first time. It won't be the last, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge them. Still bless them. you know, that's on me. I should have checked it. I should have opened it up on the side of the road. I should have paid more attention to the smell, because the smell is very strong. Disgusting. Definitely not good. I've went ahead and just sprayed my garage. I sprayed the perimeter of my house, even double checked my SUV to make sure that, you know, nobody's going to get in there. This computer was probably in the garage maybe for a minute before I immediately noticed that one roach. So I'm pretty confident that I should not have no issues. I've already sprayed. It is what it is. My wife, on the other hand, she hates me right now, and I'll probably be sleeping in the garage for a while. Hey, I deserved it. This was pretty dumb. But like I said, got memory, graphics card, a cooler, even though I'm missing that one, and possibly a CPU. I mean, I got something out of it. So comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, concerns, criticisms. Was this a bad deal? Potentially, yes. Definitely the computer part. I still got the other parts. If the other parts turn out to work, that alone would recoup for this. And even with these little other parts, we should be okay. Do you think they knew about the roach infestation? Maybe they were trying to scam me. I don't know. Definitely post your opinions down below. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. And as always, I really hope I don't have roaches in the garage.